Welcome to the fourth module of Landscape Design for Sustainability. Tips for incorporating native and xeriscape plants. My name is Dave Petrosky and I'm a registered landscape architect based in central Pennsylvania. This video will cover how to prepare native and drought-tolerant planting plans using Easy Plant landscape software in AutoCAD. We will focus on using native and water-wise ground covers or perennials. We will assimilate information learned from the prior three modules and observe specific CAD operations and functions for creating, tallying, and labeling ground covers and plants for a planting plan. Class handouts and downloads for this module are available from the AU website. Let me first describe some of the main operational functions of a planting plan discussed in the previous video. Looking at the example on your screen, you see a small completed plant schedule of 6 plants, 4 ground covers, and 2 trees. All these plants are water-wise plants and or native that are all found within the spreadsheet using the drought-resistant plant key. I will describe how to use the ground cover and mulch tabulation commands and label the plants later. I have already placed hatches and symbols in the plant schedule, but I only use the MK link on the last 4 plants. The hatched areas can represent a ground cover area, native plants, wildflowers, grass areas, or a perennial bed and or a mulch bed. In this example, I also show a few ground covers represented by the hatched area shown to the left of the small schedule. In the last video, I showed how to insert plant data and plant symbols directly into the plant schedules. Now I will insert a hatch for the first plant and select a new hatch within the closed polyline. I have not used MakeLink to link the first 2 plants, so I'll enter a hatch into the polyline and quickly link these 2 plants by their hatches. I want to demonstrate that these hatches must be separate hatches. After they are linked, remember to place them on the Easy Legends layer so this area in the plant schedule will not be added into the total. To do this, I will use Match Properties command because I've already placed the bottom 4 plants on this layer. Remember to type BH in AutoCAD and the hatch command appears. I will place a separate hatch pattern on the drawing within the closed polyline, and the same pattern is placed separately in the planting schedule legend to represent the hatch. Now I will use the MK link command and quickly link the first 2 plants with its adjacent hatch. Once these plants and symbols are linked, they become intelligent, and symbols and hatches shown anywhere on the same drawing may be quickly tallied into the plant schedule. The mulch is placed into the schedule just like the plants from the radio button that you saw in the Insert Plant command, where you can toggle between plants and or mulches. I have placed a hardwood wood chip mulch into the schedule. Notice the 3-inch depth and cubic feet noted in the Remarks To column. After the plants have been linked and the hatches in the schedule are placed on the Easy Legends layer, the uplink command can be used. When this occurs, the quantity column shows the word error for ground cover tallies. This is what is supposed to happen because this is an indicator that the users must place a spacing distance in inches for the ground cover or decide on the depth for the mulch in that Remarks To column. Do this by using the Attribute Edit command. the depth of mulch, and the spacing of the plants are always selected by the user, and this needs to be accomplished in order to tally the plants. The program can tally and label each separate area shown as a mulch or of each of the ground covers and quickly quantify and label each area. If the plants are sold in flats of 50 plants per flat, then whatever the area and spacing requirements are, they are placed into the remarks column in place of the double pound sign. Then the program labels the exact amount of flats and the amount of extra plants or part of a flat which are needed. When tabulating ground covers, the user only has to input the spacing and click Uplink. I will demonstrate this and label these plants. When I click on the Label Plants command, the command line says Select Typical Plant, Ground Cover or Mulch. Just left-click over the hatch and select it and pull the cursor and see a leader line and left-click on the screen where the text should be placed. Users have options to type H for height of the font or S for show to have options to show the plant condition in the ground cover label. After the selection, another option to pick A for above, B for below, or S for split, meaning if the text is labeled above or below the label line or split with the number of plants above the line and the key name label below the label line. Let's try it. Now I will click on the ground cover polyline and pull the grips to alter the shape and size of the area. The quantities quickly readjust in the plant schedule, but the ground cover labels will also regenerate a new amount of ground cover shown. If the user wants to change the spacing amount from, say, 6 inches to 18 spacing centers, then quantities and labels will also readjust to the correct plant quantity by simply clicking Uplink. Clicking the Uplink command allows users to tally all the plants shown on the planting plan. The quantity will change to however many of the symbols are used for each plant. Let me exhibit more user options. If users find that plants are sold in their nursery in different amounts than 16 per flat, as the PACP are sold, or the HEHMS and HEHI at 50 flats per options, simply type in a new number of plants in place of how the orders per flat are sold and click Uplink again, and the quantities and the labels amounts automatically change. In fact, users have options to change the spacing of plants or the depth of the mulch as well, just by clicking Uplink. The plants labels and update as well for these changes. Let's experiment and I will demonstrate a few of these. I will also label the plants and change some of the data so the plant quantities change. Changing the spacing of plants to a wider spacing selection from a 6-inch spacing to 12 inches is always a nice alternative if immediate coverage is not needed. This expanded spacing can also be great cost savings if spacing the plant closer becomes cost prohibitive. While we are using the Label Plants command, I want to demonstrate the labeling of separate plant symbols from the prior video drawing and labeling ground covers too. When labeling, the first plant selected is the original plant symbol from where the leader will originate. I will demonstrate. And if you select a window, you can choose many plants. Also, I will demonstrate how to use the Connect Lines command to draw lines between the plants. This is the conclusion of this video. Thank you for your time. In the final video, we will speak about additional tips that will assist you in preparation of a planting plan. Thank you very much.